Hey, Curtis,
Hey Oz,
what movie do you have to wrap up Educational Movies Month?
wrapping up this month, our movie marriage is some old school meets Entourage, a whole lot of the spirit of South Park, all brought together by House Party. This week we're watching PCU.
PCU,
Yep,
1994.
94. Yep, I think this movie sat on the shelf for a couple of years, if memory
I
serves.
did
Yeah.
read that, yeah.
So
I
shot
did
probably
read
around
that as well.
92-ish, 91, 92-ish, but yeah. Sat for a
Yeah.
while, finally distributed.
Yeah. Like I mentioned, via text, the movie held up a little better than I thought it would
Mm-hmm.
for just kind of one of those throwaway mid-90s
Yeah.
films.
Well, and you can, as we always do, we talk pre-show, and it's probably been 15 years since I've watched it,
Mhm.
and I watched it twice in the last 2 weeks. And the first time through, I was agitated watching it, like you're going a little too hard
Right.
at some things. And then
Yeah.
the second time through, it's like, okay, I've got to. You really are. I'm still a little agitated,
Yeah.
but I see what you're doing here.
Yeah, yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with that. Yeah, because there are times where I'm like, you're hurting them more than they're
Yeah.
hurting anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. So, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Let's Talk About Flicks, the podcast where we take a monthly theme. This month we are wrapping up educational films. That is,
Yeah.
it is August, and we're all back to school, or soon to be back to school at this point. I'm one of your hosts, Oz.
I am the other host, Curtis.
And we definitely want to give a shout out to our favorite pre-frosh Patreon subscribers, Don S., Aaron A., Mandy K., Melissa L., Colin K., and Lyle M. Thank you for your patronage.
Yeah. Thank you to the Chicago Indie Critics as well.
Yes, as well. Yes. The fantastic film organization that gave a couple of drips like us an opportunity to not talk about new films.
We appreciate it. We got to bring balance to the organization.
Absolutely.
Elevate everyone else.
We are the pit of the
there you go.
Of the Chicago Indie Critics. So
before we get too far going here, Oz, this is also a milestone for Let's Talk About Flicks.
It is. I'm looking at that right now for sure. We are recording episode 200 right now.
Yeah. 200.
We have reached that milestone, closing in on 4 years.
Yes.
Of recording. It doesn't feel that long.
It doesn't.
But at the same time, when I scroll through some of our former episodes, I'm like, we covered that movie?
Yeah. Yeah, we are at a point where it's like, yeah, we did talk about Commando. We did talk about, such and such.
Which is kind of a downside to doing a movie podcast, because some of the movies we've covered are just genuinely our favorite movies.
Yeah.
And so it's like, we've already covered it. And so it doesn't feel right. Granted, it's our show. We can do whatever we want, but it's like to revisit a film. I don't know. Like at some point, granted, looking at our backlog of themes, it'll be a few years before we get to the point where we're wondering what to cover.
Yeah.
But it does. There's times where it feels like, what should we like? This movie would fit perfect in said theme, but we've already done it.
We've already used it. Yeah.
So it's like, do we do it again? I don't know. But again, there are thousands and thousands of movies out there. I'm sure we can find something to fit.
Yes. On the road to 1,000.
That's true.
We're 1/5 there.
Yeah, we're 20% done. So PCU is your film this week. So I have the characters. There are a lot of characters in this movie, and to be fair, a lot of them matter.
Yeah.
To a degree anyway.
To a degree. There's one. this might be one of my bads later. I'll just drop a hint now. There's one character who seems like they'd be prominent, but they just kind of pop up and do nothing other than to give validation to Jeremy Piven.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. So our characters are, speaking of Jeremy Piven, we have Draws, the 7-year senior, whatever. He's the lifer.
He's been there a while, and he looks it.
He does.
You can tell he's been there a while because his hairline indicates that.
Yes. So he is the recipient of our next character,
Mhm.
Tom, I like to call him Tom the Thread Lawrence.
He holds it all together.
He really doesn't matter outside of just being the connective
Nope.
tissue.
Yep.
So we got Tom Lawrence, played
Mhm.
by Chris Young of the Great Outdoors fame.
Of that fame.
Fame.
He was the most important part of the Great
That's
Outdoors,
true.
which we have covered as well.
We have. I wish there was a Cammy music,
I know
music sting in this one.
Yeah, I was talking with Patreon subscriber Melissa L, as I do, and like, man, I like every time Chris Young is on screen, it's like, where's Cammy?
Yeah, he needs a Katie sting in this movie.
Yes, where's Cammy? I want to know that the end of that storyline.
Yeah, where's she at? We have Mulaney, who's basically Jeremy Piven's right-hand man.
Yeah, Jeremy Piven's nod and smile.
Yeah. We've got Jon Favreau as Gutter.
Yes, we do.
A pre-Happy Hogan, really pre-fame Jon Favreau.
Yeah, pre-swingers.
Pre-swingers Jon Favreau. But he still looks like Jon Favreau.
I think pre-Rudy, at least when it was shot. I think Rudy came out first, but this was shot before.
But this was
Rudy.
shot first. We have, as I mentioned, Katie, played by Megan Ward, the freshman who sees Tom Lawrence for 10 seconds and realizes she's smitten.
Yep.
Who else do we have here? We've got, let's go to the foils. We have David Spade as Rand McPherson.
What a great name.
Rand McPherson.
Rand McPherson.
Who's basically just David Spade in this movie.
Yes.
We have the Womanist House, which honestly, the only reason for it is so we can have Sarah Trigger as Samantha. Who, if Jeremy Piven has known her for this long, but yet has not spoken to her again since freshman year.
Yeah.
Which means, is she also a 7-year senior?
Yep. Maybe she's working on her PhD.
Maybe.
She's in grad school at this point.
That's true. So we got Samantha. We have blink twice and you'll miss it. Jake Busey is Mersh.
Mersh. Yes.
Yeah. He's just a stoner.
Yeah.
When we've got other sub activist groups, the only one I'm really going to bring up is Becky Thayer as Moonbeam.
Fun little character.
Because she of the others, she's the one that she at least gets a name.
Yeah.
And is referenced a few times
that other people use.
Yes. We have Jessica Walter.
Yes, we do.
The Jessica Walter as President Garcia Thompson, the president of Port Chester University.
Yep.
And then I wonder if if it's because it's Port Chester. Is that why Chris Young wanted to go there? Because he felt a connection with his dad.
He had to live up to Chester Chet from the Great Outdoors. He wanted to bring a little bit of his dad with him from a different movie.
Yeah, and then last but not least, we've got George Funk in the Parliament Funkadelic playing.
Did you say George Funk?
Yeah, I did. I was ahead of myself. George Clinton.
Yes.
And the Parliament Funkadelic as George Clinton in the Parliament Funkadelic. So, again, a lot more characters in here. There's a lot more members of the pit. They don't matter.
It doesn't matter. There's the Daves. There's the band members. There's the guy trying to prove the Kane Hackman theory.
Exactly. There's always a Gene Hackman or Michael Caine film on TV somewhere in the world.
At least one of the two of them is on TV at some point.
Big in Kazakhstan.
They love Michael Caine in Kazakhstan. Yeah.
So. All right, but that is who's this film directed by?
Yeah.
Speaking of my cocaine.
This film was directed by Hart Bachner, the guy who I forget the character's name. Ellis, that's right. Ellis from Die Hard. The big cokehead stockbroker who tried to negotiate.
Just a jerk, yeah.
Yeah. He tried to negotiate his way out of this with Alan Rickman and ate a bullet.
Yeah. I think he called him Bubby.
He did. Hans Bubby.
He directed PCU. Also written by Zach Penn.
Yes, I saw that as well. Yeah, the guy who went on to write all sorts of superhero movies.
Yeah, Incredible Hulk, X2, Last Stand.
Yeah.
He wrote the story for the Avengers movie. So, all right. So that is way longer cast than needed, but still.
Whatever.
They matter.
Yeah, sure they do. Let's get into the plot of PCU. Port Chester University. This is a fictional school. It's somewhere in Connecticut, and I guess that this movie is kind of semi-autobiographical.
I read that
based
too.
on like Zach Penn's own experiences at, I forget the name of the school, but at a real school also in Connecticut.
Short Pester.
Yeah, short Pester. Yeah. So we start the film with quote unquote pre-frosh.
I'm looking at it. It was Wesleyan University.
Wesleyan. Okay, There we go. Suit-clad pre-frosh Tom Lawrence, who I might just call Buck through all of this, because that's how I know him. He's Buck from the Great Outdoors.
Right.
So a suit-clad Buck from the Great Outdoors takes a bus from Delaware all the way up to Connecticut to Port Chester University, PCU, to do a campus visit. Mm-hmm. Interesting. He's doing this all by himself. No family, no parents.
I thought that as well. No check-in with university when you get there.
No. He's assigned a student. Mm-hmm. Like the admissions office assigns him a student to like bunk with and tour with. Yeah, definitely not how things are done.
And I thought it was great that he caught the bus from Delaware to the front gate of Port Chester University.
Yeah. There's a bus stop. There's a direct line that runs from like rural Delaware.
Yeah, to the sidewalk of the building you need.
To the small liberal arts school in Connecticut.
Yeah. It's on the route.
It's right there. And so he arrives at at the Pit, a non-frat house. At a glance, it looks like your stereotypical college frat house, but it used to be. It used to be, but it is explicitly not a frat house because they're not allowed at Port Chester University. And he has been assigned to Draws, Jeremy Piven, for a tour and lodging. So as Tom walks into the Pit, he enters this big room. There's a band practicing. There's a floor hockey game going on. And there's a guy in the corner watching television very intensely and incessantly. Again, the guy he's working on his thesis, which is to prove that there is always a Michael Caine and or Gene Hackman movie at all time, trying to prove the Caine Hackman theory
that he created.
Yes, that he created. So we meet Katie, who Tom immediately oogles kind of grossly, and she catches him.
Yeah.
And she shows Tom or Buck to Draz's room. We find Draz asleep with a lit cigarette in his mouth. Tom awakens him, and Draz immediately goes, "Coffee now!" Because, of course, he's had, I'm guessing, 12-hour-old coffee just simmering in his door or in his room there. Draz assumes that Tom is there to buy drugs, fireworks, or term papers, because that's what Draz does. He deals in things at the school, and that's what he's known for. Draz gives Tom some college advice, and I put this in bold. Draz tells Tom, this is all you need to know about college. No classes before 11 o'clock. Alcohol is your best friend. Women, yeah, but you're a freshman. And finally, do you have a car? No. Okay, make friends with someone on your floor with a car.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. You heard it here from professional educators, folks.
Yeah. And
we fully support this message.
As a professional college and career counselor, those are the 4 things that I tell my students.
Well, it's fair, because really the bulk of your job is getting kids into school. Once they're there, here are the 4 rules.
That's all you need to know. Yeah. Nothing about choosing classes or financial aid. No, just make friends with somebody with a car and you'll be fine.
The hard part's getting in. It's a piece of cake once you're there.
Once you're there, it's all smooth sailing. Just ask Draz. He's been there 7 years.
Yeah, he loves it.
Draz introduces Buck to Gutter, played by, again, Jon Favreau. And, Gutter is getting ready to go see George Clinton that night. And so he's in his room, as one does in the early 90s, just mosh dancing by himself.
Yep.
And, of course, Draz ridicules Gutter for wearing the shirt of the band that he's going to go see.
Right.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Is Jeremy Piven's acting right there. We meet stereotypical 90s cool token black guy Mulaney. Really personifies that stereotype, that stereotypical character.
Yes, very much so.
Yes.
Disappointingly.
Yes, very disappointingly. Draws refutes Tom's 1950s perspective on college, and he walks him around campus. We see everything and everyone is quote unquote politically correct, therefore PCU.
Yeah.
Also a very early 90s term as well.
Yeah, exactly. We also find out this is where Draws ends up with Tom, as Mulaney's just trying to get back at him for something else that happened prior. Like it's a gag. So Tom is really the victim here of a prank.
So Tom and Draws are walking through campus. We meet many special interest groups. We meet the womanists, who are stereotypical feminists. We meet an LGBTQ community. We meet a Black activist community. We meet others like environmental causes. The womanists, which includes Draz's ex Samantha. Draws, of course, as he does, because this is really in the vein of South Park, tries to get under everyone's skin. And so he does so by kind of poking fun at Samantha. And I won't go into detail as to what the joke was, but the response from from the womanist leader to Samantha is, "You participated in a phallus naming?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is also why this would have been my original, so I'll just ask it now.
Sure.
Why do Hollywood universities, Hollywood colleges,
yes,
always consist of every possible activist group lining the main sidewalk at all times?
They're always there. They're never in class,
and they always get along. Like this is my table space, and I'm going to active.
Yes. and there's always placards and people shouting slogans. And that's how you college.
That's how you college
from the Hollywood perspective.
Yeah, that was my house. Why why do Hollywood colleges have every activist group active at all times?
Yeah, 24/7, quite literally sometimes. Draws, Mulaney, Tom, and I think, was it the Daves? I think they all end up dumping meat onto the cause heads who are protesting, anti-meat causes. As I put,
this week,
this week, as I put in my notes, as sweet guitar riffs play, as they're throwing handfuls of ground beef,
extremely large meatballs.
Yes, very very large meatballs.
Yeah, these are very large meatballs.
Tom runs into the Afrocentrist group, and we meet Moonbeam, and of course somehow they all get upset at Tom. Tom is
because he didn't realize the guys from the pit took off, so he's admiring the work
of the meat tosser.
And when they get away from the building, he's so far behind them that he then runs into that Afrocentric group, which slows him down even more because he's already behind. And then that's when the activists catch up with him. So
everybody who's on campus, all of these different cause-based interest groups, are now targeting Tom.
Yeah, I would have added the Running Man to my movie marriage.
He's always running.
Always running.
Yes, there's always a giant horde of angry people behind him.
Yeah, he's always that much faster than they are, though. They give him quite the head start.
Tom, as he's trying to get away from this giant group, passes through a computer lab where everyone is working on their theses. Like everyone. And of course, he trips over the power cord, destroying the computers, not just turning them off, but destroying the computers. And of course they've lost all their work, and now this group is chasing him as well. However, as Tom is escaping, he runs into a door, is knocked out, and is dragged somewhere by a mystery person. We cut to President Garcia Thompson, because she is she's a quote unquote liberal. That's her thing. She is there for liberal causes, because again, this movie tries to take shots at everyone, regardless of where you are on the political spectrum. And of course, she has to have a hyphenated name because she's a liberal.
Yes,
because that's the thing, apparently. She's telling Moonbeam to complete a discrimination form that will expose the pit. That she's trying to eliminate the pit and the students in the pit from campus, because they are single-handedly destroying the sensitivity levels on campus. So again, she is portrayed as like the penultimate bleeding heart liberal, crying liberal tears everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like that's her character. Garcia Thompson meets with I'm not going to say the name of this faux fraternity, but it
Shawls and Baft.
Yeah, Shawls and Baft, Frank and Beans.
That's right. Yeah.
Remember, Rand McPherson, played by David Spade, played very humorously by David Spade.
Yes.
Who, again, and she derisively calls him a Republican. He derisively calls her a Democrat. They're on polar opposite ends of the political spectrum. Again, student Rand McPherson, liberal president Garcia Thompson, but they unite in their hatred for the pit. So that's what brings these opposites attracting, because they both want to get rid of the pit for different reasons. Garcia Thompson goes to the pit and uses info from McPherson to bill them for campus damages, for almost $8,000 worth of damages. Mm-hmm. And the pit house will be repossessed if they can't pay for the damages by Monday. So here's what's driving the plot. Here's what we need to know moving forward.
Land acquisition.
You just stole one of my goods. Thank you. As we have so many times in this podcast, there are so many bad guy plots that involve land acquisition, real estate transactions. I want that beachfront. I want that house. I want that. I want that golf course.
Yeah.
You know, I see those trees. I see a suburban mall.
I want that community center.
Yes, the community center. Oh, I love it. There's so many movies where it just comes down to I want that property.
Yeah.
Draws suggests to the pitters that they throw an all-campus party, something that has not been done in years, to pay for the damages. So off we go with the plot. Gutter goes to Mersch again. I'm not going to call him Jake Busey. I'm going to call him Gary Busey's son.
Exactly.
The Jerry Towners, and tells them, I can't make the trip to see George Clinton because I have been assigned to get beer for this giant party. And so Gutter is off on his mission to do that. Tom wakes up to the underground frat, again, Frank and Beans, we'll say. Yeah. They lost their house to the pit all the way back in 1967. So almost 30 years prior from when this movie is set, when frats were banned on campus. Rand arrives and says that they want the pit to throw a big party just to kind of dig their own grave. So like Rand knows how they're going to react and wants them to react. Even if they raise the funds, it's still going to put them out of business.
It's going to increase the amount of violations,
Correct.
Which are going to get them, kicked out anyway.
Mm-hmm. I got to say, Rand is thinking a couple of steps ahead.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, as awful of a person as he is, his plan isn't that bad.
His puppetry is there.
He's holding the strings. We learn Draws and Rand were freshman roommates. We get a little flashback to Draws. I don't know if it was Samantha or if it was just another woman.
I don't know.
In their freshman dorm, and he and this woman are like graphically making out, and he's literally jumping everywhere on his side of the room.
Yes.
Draws is. We cut to a headgear wearing Rand.
Yeah.
With his blankets pulled all the way up to his chin, going trying to get Draws' attention to stop. Like, I'm also here. And Draws eventually just runs over and literally screams into the point of view camera that is Rand.
Yeah.
Very funny scene. Rand laments to Tom, this school used to be a bastion of rich white elitism. It turns out when Tom was drug away, again, it was by Rand. Rand riles up the womanists against the pit's party. And Rand even hits on Samantha, but of course she quickly dismisses him.
Yes.
We go back to Gutter's mission here. Again, it's his mission to get beer for the party. He's very high because, of course, he's stopped by Gary Busey's son's basically Grateful Dead house called Jerry Town.
Exactly.
In honor of the dead. And Gutter starts hallucinating as he's trying to complete his mission of buying beer. He hallucinates that he's testifying before Congress.
This was actually a fun.
It was a very fun. And I don't think anybody in this cast other than Favreau could have pulled this off.
Right.
And you do get a little glimpse in the sequence of Jon Favreau's real acting ability.
Yes, of his talent for sure.
And they're using real footage from a real congressional session that they just cut back to, Gutter responding to. But the liquor store closed at 8. He slept through it.
Yeah.
He can't get the beer. We go back to Garcia Thompson at they're preparing for their big bicentennial, the big
which is tomorrow.
Yes, of course it is. Everything's coming together at the same time.
Well, and I love it too, because it's like, if this is university's bicentennial, realistically, this is something that they do for like they celebrate the entire year.
Yeah, not just in 48 hours.
Or let alone like there's a week of festivities, but they're just like, well, tomorrow.
We also see that there are board members there who are concerned about student unrest, and they're worried it's going to carry over. So in other words, we also find out that there's some board members aren't very fond of Garcia Thompson.
Right.
And they're basically,
naturally they're old men.
Of course,
old
white men. Yeah, because that's who makes up these boards. It's old white men. And Garcia Thompson wants to replace what is a very racist Native American based mascot with, of course, a very liberal cause, an endangered bird, the whooping crane.
Yeah.
This was one of those things where I'm like, ugh, like they're kind of making fun of getting what is the right thing by getting rid of a very dated offensive mascot. But we go back to the pit. The Daves, who were assigned to advertise for things, they only hung up one flyer, right. And then they stopped because they nailed it into a tree, and Moonbeam came and shamed them for it. And
because she heard that tree screaming.
She did, because that's the stereotypical cause. And
it's funny because it's just so over the top.
It is. It's so stereotypical. So stereotypical. The band members blow the fuse box. There's no beer, no band. The women are protesting outside. And, someone even says, like, don't they want to have a good time at least once in their lives? And that's basically like the whole ethos of the pit members. Like, we just want to have fun.
Right.
Why are people wherever you're at on the political spectrum, why are you taking yourself so seriously?
Exactly.
Which again, really kind of gets into the South Park of things here.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have a point, but also enjoy your time on Earth.
Yeah. Droz gives them an inspiring speech, and they put this plan in place.
I like an inspiring peach better.
I do like an inspiring peach as well.
It's like the can of mixed vegetables at Wet Hot.
Yeah. There was one inspiring peach in there.
That's true.
And that's what drove Chris Maloney in that movie to take action. The inspiring peach.
Yeah, inspiring peas and carrots.
I'm going to make a note of that. Inspiring peach. There we go. And of course, they've got a plan to go into action. They've spotted beer kegs at the freshman campus. They're at the big bicentennial party. There's a full loaded bar there. However, we cut back to Gutter, who's lamenting. He's just sitting on a curb, lamenting the fact that I failed in my mission to get the beer.
Droz had even said, like, Gutter's probably sitting on the street picking his nose. Cut to Gutter sitting on the street picking his nose.
Yeah. And George Clinton's tour bus pulls up to ask him for directions. They got lost.
It must have been on the same Greyhound route as
it was. They were coming. They were coming from Delaware. They got lost. They did not make the concert that Gary Busey's son was going to up in Hartford. And so it's like, well, we're not. And George Clinton, it's George Clinton that gets off the bus to ask for directions. It's not the driver or someone else.
It's going to be the man himself.
It's going to be him. And Gutter doesn't recognize him, despite the fact that he was going to go see their show. And it's like, well, George Clinton's like, well, we're too late to go to the show. We may as well go home. And Gutter's like, can you just give me a ride back to my house? Of course we will.
On your tour bus.
On your tour bus.
This doesn't appear, it's really not a very large campus.
No, it's not. It looks like a small liberal arts school.
It really does.
Like 2,000-3,000 students.
Yeah.
Because even at cutting ahead, like to the very end scenes, purportedly the whole student body is there,
and they fill a room.
Yeah. So it's not a big campus. we see Draws of the Daves, stealing the beer. Mulaney gets on the campus radio to promote the party, so on and so forth. We now get to Act 3. Tom is waiting for the bus home, back to Delaware. Right. It has 2 stops.
It just loops.
It does, just those 2 stops. He runs into Katie, because Katie was assigned to get 2,000 people there.
Go get everybody.
Get the entire campus.
Freshmen, go get them.
And so she runs into Tom. He's waiting at the bus stop, tells him about the pit being shut down if they can't pull off this party. Katie kisses Tom goodbye, but he does not get on the bus, because this big crowd is still after Tom, going back to the beginning of the movie.
But they're still looking for him.
Yeah.
Because that's what they've done all day. They stopped their activist marches and protests, and they're like, we got to get this white boy.
Yeah, and they've all been chasing him for hours.
Around this small liberal arts college. It's nighttime now.
Yeah, it's pitch black outside.
Right.
And so Katie's like, I have to find 2,000 people to get. And Tom's like, well, I think I got an idea.
Yeah.
So they come across the big crowd, and in Chris Young's best acting ability, hey, remember me? Eh? And Buck. So, Buck. Yeah. And so they get this big crowd to chase him back to the pit. There's our 2,000 people.
Right. Which the one thing that I found, and I think it goes unspoken, is here were, quote unquote, 2,000 people that found a unified thing to do.
Yes.
All of these activist groups that stand for and against each other, etc., have all gathered in their hatred of this pre-frosh
of this 17-year-old,
and they're not running in broken, segmented groups. They're running as one angry mob.
Yes, Tom has unified the different causes.
So as long as we can find one thing for all of us to hate, we'll all get along just fine.
I thought for a hot moment about using Watchmen in my movie Marriage.
Oh, yeah.
Because Ozymandias, he tricks the whole Earth into uniting against a fake alien invasion that he causes.
Yeah. And it worked.
It worked, yeah. It stopped World War III. Draws and the Daves go into the board bicentennial party and steal the alcohol cabinet. Draws locks all of these adults inside using a club, like the old thing, the car protection thing, the club, and loops Afternoon Delight on. I almost also included Arrested Development in my movie Marriage
for both reasons.
Yes, exactly. Gutter leads George Clinton and P-Funk to the pit. They all, of course, the entire band goes inside to use the bathroom too, and of course, Draws and Mulaney are like, that's George Clinton. They convince George Clinton to play their party
because you're already here,
as one does.
Yeah.
Draws pulls Tom basically outside into this angry mob and says, "We're gonna go beat him up in the basement. By the way, as long as you're all here, George Clinton is inside. $5 a head. Line starts to the left. Let's go have fun. For the first time in years, let's all just have fun."
Right.
And it works.
It works.
They throw a huge party. Tom and Katie basically eat each other's faces on the dance floor at one point. Huge party going on. Pigman, who is the name of the Kane Hackman theory, was it A Bridge Too Far comes on, which has both of them in it.
Culminates and
so his thesis is done, and everyone is having a great time. They raised the money.
Yeah. Exactly. With 100 to spare.
Yes, with 100 to spare. In the meantime, Garcia Thompson, McPherson, because McPherson and his group are also at this bicentennial party, they end up escaping, and they go to the pit. They show up at the pit, and Draws comes up and says, "We got your money. We win. We keep the house." But Garcia Thompson says, "Because of everything that happened today, we now have enough student complaint forms to kick you out," and still successfully evicts them. And of course, McPherson gloats because they wanted the house, because it was their old fraternity house, going back a generation.
30 years, yeah. McPherson remembers.
Yes, however, Tom had overheard the board members before saying that we want to get rid of Garcia Thompson. We just need one more reason.
Yeah.
So The next day is the big public bicentennial party. All the students from campus are there. It's a big outdoor stage.
They're all still dressed the same as they were the night before.
Of course they were.
Because we have to know what group they're with.
Yeah. So Draز and Gutter had disguised themselves to get on stage. Garcia Thompson is giving her speech. The big whooping crane is up there. They unlock the cage, which of course Garcia Thompson starts chasing the bird around the stage instead
naturally, yeah,
because
right.
yeah,
right.
Draز grabs the microphone, says, "Hey, last night's party was amazing. You were all there, and you all had a great time. Let's agree to not protest this." And
this was smart. This is fun.
Do you want to go ahead?
No, you got it.
And so the crowd ironically starts chanting, "We're not gonna protest. We're not gonna protest." David Spade hilariously whines, asking a friend, "Get me out of here before they touch me." And Garcia Thompson is fired. She's fired. This was the last straw.
Mm-hmm.
You can't contain your student body. You're gone. And McPherson is caught on a hot mic slandering every group.
Yeah.
The Black activist group, the LGBTQ group, the environmental group. He slanders all of them. And of course, we end with the same big crowd that was chasing Tom, now chasing Rand across campus. Samantha gives Draز a chance. Katie kisses Tom goodbye. I'll be back this fall. Roll credits. While we hear Mudhoney's really, really bad cover of Elvis Costello's Pump It Up over the end credits.
Yeah.
That, folks, is 1994's PCU.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oz, any final thoughts?
Again, it's where I sit in my life journey and how much I allow the political noise of 2025 to play in. I get this movie and I like this movie. I think if my needle were to pivot either direction more to where I was a little more angry and a little more activist minded, I would definitely despise a movie like this for the same reason that this current season South Park is on the nose.
Yeah.
And everybody who is getting made fun of hates it.
Yeah. Well, and it's, again, I kept, as I'm watching this movie, both times, again, in the last couple of weeks, South Park kept coming back to me just because of how they approach everybody. And, the last, not the current season, but the last, 3, 4, 5 seasons of South Park, I've had very mixed feelings about, the whole PC principal character.
Yeah.
And I get what they're doing there. Again, South Park goes after everybody, and the PC principal character is funny, but they're also kind of taking down what I think are some legitimate causes at the same time. And so I get what they're doing, and I'm glad. Yeah,
which you're smart enough to know. To be fair, everybody who's offended has that same thought. Well, these are legitimate concerns.
Yeah.
And it's so,
yeah. I'm glad I watched PCU a second time in preparation for this, because it kind of balanced my take on what the film was really doing here. Does it excuse everything? No, but I think it helped me just have a better understanding of things.
That's fair. Yeah, it's well, it just shows too that when everybody is so divisive in their differences, like my reasons matter, and then when a movie like this or a show like South Park takes shots at everybody, it really, if you take the 1,000-foot view, you realize it's like, guys, you guys are all the same. You're hitching your wagon to cause A, B, or C. Yeah. But the amount of energy and devotion you give to yours is no different than the energy and emotion given to everyone else's. And it's we're just, it's just interesting to see that it's when you all can be targeted, then you're not really all that different.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you all are that uncompromising,
exactly,
or even just unwilling, like I'm not going to change my belief system,
right?
From it's my value system, but I am at least willing to listen to other people. Does that mean I'm going to agree with them? No. Does that mean I will still likely oppose them? Yes.
Yeah.
But I think there is something to simply being heard.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant to say, because and it's very sensitive right now, but I genuinely love learning and listening to people's reasons and causes. I've had in the current political spectrum, even going back to 2016, I've had a number of people that I know or even related to where we've had just genuine, open-minded political conversations with, and I don't judge. I just don't. Like, I'm not going to look down upon you for your beliefs. I genuinely want to know your causation, your rationalization, your understanding. I'm just genuinely curious. And so I've had, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 that I've talked to, and I'm not putting myself on any kind of pedestal because that's not the point, but just be like, I've enjoyed this conversation because you aren't telling me I'm wrong. You're not arguing with me. And I'm like, there's no point because I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. I just want us to understand that, hey, you know what? If we don't talk about politics, we still enjoy the same things. We still shop at the same places. Our kids are still friends or whatever. It's like, so if we could just take that piece and kind of keep it out of the spotlight, we're not that different.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, folks, every week, Oz and I give our own unique rating to the film we've been yapping about. In this case, 1994's PCU. Oz, how would you rate this flick?
I'm going to give this 6 dozen meatballs.
6 dozen giant meatballs.
Yeah, very giant.
Yeah, like
meatballs.
Cantaloupe-sized meatballs.
These are basically meat loafs they're throwing out.
Meat wads.
Yeah, meat softballs. So what are you giving it?
I'm going to go with 71 camis from The Great Outdoors. She should have been in here. That was the missing piece to this movie.
I agree.
The cami through line.
Cami sting.
For Buck/Tom.
You know, I'll get a picture of Buck in it too.
There we go. Folks, every week Oz and I scour the interwebs searching for unprofessional reviews that tickle our funny bones, and I hope they tickle yours as well in this week's edition of Outside Insight. Oz, what is your Outside Insight?
I have a 4.5-star review on Letterboxd from Parker.
Okay.
Now, he left this review August 27th of 2014.
Okay.
He says, has there ever been a movie that predicted the future so accurately? This is 2014.
Okay.
This movie almost plays out as a sci-fi movie about a young man who gets sucked into the internet and is forced to attend college in Tumblr. Anyway, I loved this movie when I was like 15, and it taught me everything I'd ever need to know. Don't wear the shirt of the band you're going to see. Republicans are Nazis. Hippies only care about world-threatening causes for about a week at a time, and George Clinton is the coolest guy.
Yeah. George Clinton brings everyone together.
That's right. 4.5 stars.
4.5. Okay. It's kind of like Draza's 4 things you need to know that he told Tom at the beginning.
Right. So thank you, Parker, for allowing us to read your Outside Insight without permission. What do you got?
I have, if you don't mind, I have 4. I'm going to share. None of them are longer than 3 sentences. So I'm going to burn through them pretty quick. Here. All from the Internet Movie Database. The first is a 10 out of 10 from Jay Renato in July 2020. Great comedy, not for oversensitive losers. This movie is fantastic. If you are the oversensitive type, which is typical of most in 2020, you won't like it because you're too uptight. If you get what comedy is, this is a fun trip. Don't be the oversensitive type.
Just don't.
Yeah. The next one, 10 out of 10 from C. Brown. I'm assuming Chris Brown.
Charlie. It's probably Charlie
could also be Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown in 2002. And I'm only going to read the subject line. Much funnier and more realistic than Van Wilder.
Yeah. That beacon of Hollywood collegiate experience, Van Wilder.
Van Wilder, yep. The next, also a 10 out of 10, left from Set 2. I'm guessing like the ancient Egyptian god set. Left in January 1999. It's a great movie, you know. Even here in Poland, where everything is completely different, PCU is a cult movie. Amen.
Even in Poland.
Even in Poland, it's a great movie. And the final is a 1 out of 10, left from I Am Seth in December 1999.
I bet his name's Seth.
I will say there's 2 H's at the end of it.
Just a hunch.
1 out of 10. My God, this movie is awful. Next to Mr. Holland's Opus, this is the worst movie I've ever seen.
Oh Oh, we love our movie references.
Yeah. When movie reviews unnecessarily bring up other movies,
Yes.
This movie's much better than Van Wilder, or this movie is just as bad as Mr. Holland's Opus.
Oh my.
All right, folks, it's that point in the show you've been waiting for. The Let's Talk About Flicks signature segment, the 3-2-1, in which Oz and I each shared 3 goods, 2 bads, and 1 huh about this week's movie. Episode 200, PCU. Oz, what are your 3 goods?
You know, it just hit me right now. I don't even know if you thought about it, that, we're celebrating kind of like our bicentennial episode.
We are, just like we planned.
Yes. Scripted.
Yes. This movie 4 years ago, when we decided to start this, we pegged,
anchored it around PCU as episode 200.
PCU is gonna be episode 200
because of Portchester's 200th
because of their bicentennial. Yeah.
Oh,
I love it.
We can make anything work, folks.
Yeah, we will fabricate the reason.
That's true. All right, my 3 goods. Jeremy Piven and his hairline are perfect for this role.
You just stole one of my bads, by the way.
It's just Jeremy Piven is Jeremy Piven. I mean, I've never seen him in a role that's not this. But you bring him in as the super duper senior, whatever. Okay, fine. Like it works for this role. I liked everyone's commitment to the part. Because if everybody in the activist groups weren't as on board with playing the role that they are, as over the top as they play them, then that through line of the film doesn't really work.
Yeah.
And then just George Clinton. I like George Clinton.
Yep.
I like funk music. I think that's fun. And so, yeah, George Clinton. I mean, that's fine. Like I said, I've seen, and you have too, musicians in a film that just don't belong there. Like they can't do the acting part. And Clinton just seemed like, I'm cool. It's fine. So
yeah.
George Clinton is my 3rd good. What do you got?
One of my possible goods was very similar to your last one, and it was the choice of having George Clinton and P-Funk as the band instead of some like early 90s Flash in the Pan.
Yes.
Candlebox.
Right. Yeah.
Is the band, but
better than Ezra's here.
Dishwalla is here.
Exactly right. Yeah. We hear him play Counting Blue Cars. Like, no.
But yeah, I mean, George Clinton really is one of those musicians that really does appeal to most people.
Yeah.
And I think it was a great choice. An established act, that has a very diverse following.
He's like a platypus.
That's a good comp. Everybody loves a platypus.
Everybody loves a platypus.
Well, it's like last week, everybody loves a capybara.
Exactly. George Clinton is the capybara of Portchester.
who was the capybara last year or last week? What were we talking about?
What's last week's movie?
I know. I'm also thinking. Yeah, you compared someone to a capybara.
Oh, it was Spicoli.
That's right. Yes, Spicoli was a capybara.
It was the capybara.
So if Jeff Spicoli is a capybara, George Clinton is a platypus,
and Tom is the opposite of a capybara in this movie. Everybody hates Tom.
Everybody hates him
except Katie.
Yeah, except Katie.
So, all right, your 3 goods.
My 3 goods. First of all, David Spade. He's so good at being smarmy.
Yes.
He kind of, especially in film, he kind of plays the same character most of the time.
He really does, yeah.
But I don't mind it, especially here. And he's like I said it before, Rand McPherson is such a great yuppie bad guy name.
Oh yeah.
And I can't get enough of David Spade just making whining noises. They're gonna get me away before they touch me.
Well, and it definitely helps that he's like a small stature guy.
Yes, yeah, it does. Like he realizes who he is physically, and it just makes it that much funnier.
Yeah.
So that's my first good. My second good is kind of an extension of that, just that flashback scene with Draz and Rand in their freshman dorm, and Draz is just shrieking, and he's literally like I don't know if it was Piven or I think it actually was Piven. Now that
it said it was Piven.
Yeah, like he actually hurt his hand. He was throwing himself against the wall and throwing himself against like a dresser.
Yeah,
and then he just runs over to Rand and just like again, and you get Rand's point of view of Draz just shrieking into the camera. Ah!
It's so ridiculous and stupid, but because I'm like, yeah, I would also hate my roommate if my roommate was that way.
Yes, I would as well. But then you cut back, and of course, Rand has the huge like retainer hanging out of his mouth.
So again, that makes Rand a 7-year senior.
Yeah.
Like these people never leave.
No, they've all been there forever.
It's the joke about Draws, but then when you attach, what was the girl's name?
Samantha.
When you get Samantha and Rand in there, and they're both still there also, it's like, no, this is what you are.
Yeah,
you're 7-year seniors.
Yeah, I agree. My last good, and we kind of mentioned this before, but this movie, it cooks. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It gets to the point right away. Introduces you to the characters right away.
Well, it takes place in a day.
Yeah, I like movies like that
where
it's quick. It's not drawn out. It's over in canon. It's over in 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no wasted motion.
Well, we've talked about it before with other films that just when you feel like you're dropped in a day in the life kind of thing. Like Falling Down was another one.
Yeah.
Where it's like, we don't need to see the origin story of X, Y, and Z. Let's just, our experience with Port Chester starts when Tom gets there.
Yeah.
Everything that's established before we get a little bit of backstory, but not a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just basically that flashback scene. That's the backstory.
That's really it. Yeah. That's all you need to know. Hey, Oz, what are your two bads?
On nitpicky again, the movie's only 80 minutes long, so there's really not a lot of time to find bads, but the plot of this movie is very thin.
Yeah.
It's it is the way it does what it's supposed to do. It all works out.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what it's supposed to. I guess it does go into the next day with the bicentennial celebration, but still it's like a 24-hour window.
Yeah.
But really it's, that's my first bad is the thin plot. And I often wonder, like, what would all of this in the movie had happened the way it did if Tom didn't show up on campus? Like, like it's just, he's our portal to it. But at the same time, like he's an insignificant character for being the thread for the movie. That's my first bad. My second one is everyone on campus recognizing George Clinton, except Gutter. but just all these actors, and you're going to do that when you've got a musical act in your film. But all of these activist groups are just like, that's George Clinton. Like,
that's George Clinton,
right? Yeah. It's like realistically, you're not going to recognize him. So, some would. I'm not going to deny that, but for everybody to be like Rand McPherson is not going to recognize George Clinton. He's not the right skin color.
No. Well, he even says that basically when he gets caught on a hot mic.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just those, but in this movie, everybody recognized George Clinton. So
yeah.
And no one was surprised that he was there. That was the other piece. It's like, that would be your first response is, that's not George Clinton. Like, why would he be in the pit?
Yeah.
But everyone was like, oh, wow, yeah, that's him. Yep,
that's George Clinton.
Let's party. Even outside, when all the activists were there and they didn't believe Draws, and then you hear him like warming up, and everybody, like the crowd of 2,000 people are like, yeah, I guess that is George Clinton. They all,
here's my $5.
Yeah, like they all listen to George Clinton all the time.
Yeah. And
they all carry $5 cash on them.
Mm-hmm. Just like in our freshman dorm where everyone listened to was Limp Bizkit and Blink 182.
Oh, and unless you got down to the far end where you could hear Chris's Beastie Boys blasting at all hours of the day.
Yeah.
He was my neighbor, so I enjoy the Beastie Boys, but it was
not 24/7.
All Beastie Boys and all Drakkar Noir.
I can't think of the two with or one without the other. When I think of Ad Rock and Mike D, I think
Dakar Noir.
Dakar, whatever it is.
Yeah, so much that I can smell it in my room. So
yeah,
it's an announcement of fragrance.
I think that was their tagline too.
Dakar Noir, announce your fragrance.
brought to you by Jeremy Piven.
That's true. Yeah. So those are my two bads. What do you got?
My first bad is Tom, and again, this gets into my professional role, which has already come up here. I'm a college and career counselor at a public high school. Tom at one point complains about having to attend state, whatever state is, and I'm assuming that's a public school. So like just the impression that if it's a public school that everybody goes to, it's got to be worse. I'm only going to go to state. Like, one of the questions I sometimes get from students, and honestly, I get this more from parents.
Mm-hmm.
I want my kid to go to a good school. Like
they're all accredited.
Well, that's the point. Like,
yeah,
there's not. I'm not saying that there aren't certain programs that might be better or worse at other places, but like, if it's an accredited school and accredited programs, it's going to be at least decent.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that there aren't bad schools, because when we get to some of the for-profits,
of course,
but most schools, if it's a public or a private nonprofit, are going to be at least decent.
Right.
So like my feedback is like, find the place that not only has the thing you want to learn, but where you are going to be happy, like where you feel like you can find your people. But it's just this whole, I got to go to state because everybody goes to state. Like, whatever. Just go and learn something and be happy.
Knowing Tom's from Delaware, I just looked it up. Delaware has, as a state, 8 colleges and universities total. 5 private, 3 public.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to be fair, Delaware State is a HBCU. Okay. So Tom probably wasn't going to fit in there very well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the whole reference of state, there's 2 public 4-year colleges in Delaware, Delaware State and University of Delaware.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to go to state.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you got your bachelor's from a regional public. I got my master's from a regional public. Mm-hmm. Like, it's fine. It's works. Yeah. Whatever. And so my other bad is the Mulaney character. I mentioned this at the beginning. It really is like, I hate talking like this, but like this character really does fit the like stereotypical shoehorn, like black guy character, like cool black guy.
Yeah.
He there's no point to the character in the movie.
No.
The only productive thing, the only really like contribution to the plot the character makes is when he gets on the radio to get people to go to the pit. But even then, Tom is the one who brought the crowd. Mm-hmm. So like there was literally no point to the character.
No one was listening to the radio. They're all looking for Tom.
Other than to use stereotypical cool black guy character to then elevate Draz's coolness.
Yeah. Cool black guy sidekick.
Yeah, makes and he only exists to make Draz seem cooler. Like if Draz's best friend is that guy, then Draz has got to be cool.
He's got to be cool.
Like and that bothers me. And again, you and I are not equipped to have the full part of this conversation for a variety of reasons, some of which are obvious, but like if you're gonna have that character, give it meaning, give it purpose. And there was no purpose to the character
other than just, well, we got to check this box.
Yeah. So it didn't feel right to me.
No, I agree.
And I like the actor. Like I forget his name off the top of my head, but like he's been in stuff.
I got it here.
Alex Desert. Yeah. Like, and again, and he was fine in the role.
Yeah.
He did what the role asked him to do, but just how that character was written. Thank you.
This was his first movie. He was in Swingers 2 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, if I remember correctly, playing the same role.
Yeah.
Of, token black guy in group.
Yeah.
But yeah, High Fidelity. Yeah, but yeah, you've seen him and stuff, and he's still working actor.
Yeah, just
a lot larger TV credit. He's more of a TV guy, but
yeah. So those are my 2 bads.
I gotcha. I get you.
What's your
I kind of mentioned it earlier, but why was there no university contact for Tom's arrival?
Yeah,
like Tom gets. I won't even call it a postcard. he gets a card from Port Chester that has Droz's full name on it, and he gets dropped off. And literally, there's no, it's no like weekend thing, where it's like, we got our pre-frosh weekend, or it's just literally he gets dropped off. He's wandering around campus. He finds the right building. Like, there's no guidance. There's no there's no university check-in.
Yeah.
You would think that they would want to know, especially being this small liberal arts college.
Yeah.
They would want to know when there is an underage student on their campus overnight.
Yeah.
And nothing.
Yeah.
They he's just treated like he's a student there.
Yeah. This is I almost actually brought this up earlier when we were just talking about it. Like, this is the polar opposite of how campus admission visits work. Like you can show up and do the self-guided tour, but like some of the feedback I give my students and families is like, you want the admissions office to know you're there.
Yeah.
And technically they did, because they just assigned him to a student.
Yeah, but they never checked in with him or anything.
Yeah.
It was just
like, if you're a student going to visit a school, you want them to know you're there, because some schools actually keep track of that. There's a metric called demonstrated interest, where if your actions show a school you're interested, such as taking a visit, such as meeting with the admissions rep if they go to your high school, such as opening emails they send you, they can track your interest, and that could actually help get you into some schools. And
makes sense.
It just and you want them to talk to the admissions people. That's their job, is to impress you and to market to you and to make you feel like the school is the place for you. You're going to learn here, you're going to thrive here. And they don't do that in this movie. It's just the polar opposite as to how that whole campus visit process works.
It was just very bizarre. It was just,
we're
just going to drop you off. Find your way around, kid.
I hope to see you this fall. Bring your tuition check.
Right.
Yeah, that's how you impress prospective students.
No, that's my bad. Yeah. So my bad, my What do you got for your
I like that. Well done. My and I'm going to give a backup for really first.
That's fine.
Per the trivia, Steve Zahn was the runner-up for the Tom character, and Ashley Judd for the Samantha character. So my backup was going to be, how different would this movie have been with those two in those roles?
Hugely different with Steve Zahn.
Yes.
I don't know if the Ashley Judd would have made much of a difference for the Samantha, because she was background character anyway.
Yeah.
But hugely different with Steve Zahn.
Yeah. It would have
just wonder, like how did Chris Young beat out Steve Zahn?
He brought that buck energy.
I guess so.
So that I almost wanted to mention that just for the trivia of it.
Yeah.
But my real is right at the end. How did Droz and Gutter get on stage? They had because her whole bit was, it's the bicentennial. Yeah. We're going to change our mascot and we're going to use this whooping crane. And there's a real life whooping crane in a cage on the stage, and they were dressed up as the bird handlers. Yeah. So like, did Droz and Gutter beat up the real bird handlers? Like, are they unconscious and in an alley somewhere?
And thankfully, it was one of those Hollywood things where they beat up were the exact size.
Yeah.
So that the coveralls would fit.
Yeah. It's like it's Spaceballs where where they sneak in as guards. But yeah,
that's a good question. I wondered
where
that as well.
Where did the real bird handlers go?
Yeah. Were you looking for volunteers? Because these two were, she knew who they were. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like they were going to sneak in on her.
Yeah.
or she wasn't going to accept them to volunteer. But it's a good question.
So where are the real bird handlers, and what did Droz and Gutter do to them?
Good question.
That's my Yeah. All right. Well, hey, that wraps up PCU. That wraps up 2025's Education Movie Month, and wraps up our 200th episode.
Big week for us.
Yes.
All right. New theme time.
We do, as we go into episode 201, starting a new 100 episodes here.
Yeah. Our next theme for September of 2025 is, for lack of better.
I love this theme.
It's just insulting titles.
Yeah.
These are movies where the title is degrading and insulting.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what it is.
And yes, it was a reason to get a movie on the list. week 3 was the basis of it. But we are not kicking off the month with the reason for the theme. We're kicking off the month with a movie that lives up to its title. We are covering John Landis's and Tom Arnold's The Stupids.
Yes, we are. You heard that right, folks. John Landis's The Stupids. This movie came right on the heels of his other opus, Beverly Hills Cop 3, which was also a train wreck.
This is not the John Landis who gave us American Werewolf in London.
Nope.
Trading Places.
Nope.
Yeah, not that John Landis.
No.
This is the same John Landis, but
this is 90s Landis.
This is 90s John Landis. This is give me that check Landis. And he directed Tom Arnold in The Stupids.
Yes. It's a bad movie. There is a charm to it.
It is a very charming film.
Still bad.
Yes. And honestly, Tom Arnold nailed the role because he's got that just affable buffoon to him.
It's how James Belushi should have been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tom Arnold knows this is stupid. This is Tom Arnold as a less intelligent True Lies.
Yeah.
Like it's Tom Arnold. Like, it's who he is. It's fun. It's dumb. Don't get me wrong. It's a fun movie. I remember enjoying this. There are some very charming scenes in the movie, and it's simple. It's just a simple movie. A lot of just puns. A lot of puns taken seriously.
Yes, a lot of literal interpretations of puns.
If you are a fan of the Amelia Bedelia book series, then this movie, if you're the fan of that type of humor, then this movie's for you. So it's a comedy adventure. Is it?
Those are the words that we choose to use to describe The Stupids. Comedy adventure.
Yeah. So, but yeah, next month is Insulting Titles Month.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah. Social media wise, we're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all your podcasts, anywhere you want to find us. Like and subscribe. Just watch. Like I was telling a coworker yesterday that I have a podcast recording episode 200, and she asked what the name of it was, and she goes, do you guys have a lot of followers? And I told her, I go, honestly, I don't know. I go, we don't
depends how you define.
Yeah, we don't do it for that. We do it because we enjoy it. And so if you happen to be listening and watching, thank you.
Yeah.
Tell a friend. Just start with your favorite episode. You know,
scroll through the 200 series in the back, the 200 episodes in the back catalog. Find your favorite movie of those 200 and give a watch or listen.
Yeah, start there. So, but yeah, we'll be back next week to talk about The Stupids. As we're trying to encourage people to join our podcast. This is the drivel that we're pushing out.
It's highbrow content here, folks.
Yeah. Well, October is really not a lot higher of a brow.
No. Our October 25 theme lowers the brow significantly.
Yeah, that's okay, though. That's a fun month as well.
Yeah.
So for another episode of Let's Talk About Flicks, I'm Oz.
I'm Curtis.
And we'll see you guys next week with The Stupids.